So very good morning to all dear students. Today's lesson that we are going to start is Ramanujan. Okay, Ramanujan is a story of the great Indian mathematicians, Mr. Srinivasa Ramanujan. Okay, in his life, because of the poverty, he was not able to go ahead, and he was having he's a brilliant, he's a genius person, but just because of the family problem, he have to be there with his family, and he have to earn to survive with his family. So here there is a part of the life story of Mr. Srinivasan Ramanujan that we are going to see in today's class. Okay, so let's start with our today's class. Okay, so Hardy is again a mathematician. The picture image is there beside the passage. So he found a letter on his breakfast table, which was very untidy. Okay, with Indian stamp, and when he opened it, there was a sheet of paper, and it means see. What we heard that the first expression is the last expression, so whenever we are applying for job or something, we are trying to see that the paper that we are going to use, the handwriting that we are going to use, the way we are going to put that in the envelope, that envelope. So everything we are going to take care of. But here, because that means the presentation is more important, I think. So here he found that the envelope was very untidy. Okay, and here he found the non-English script where line after line symbols were written, and he was glanced without enthusiasm. Means what? After looking at that type of envelope, there is no enthusiasm means no excitement to see what is there inside or what is read ahead. Means the person want to go and read ahead. Okay, so after looking at the type of the papers and the envelope, there was no enthusiasm from the Hardys. Okay, now next is Prisha. Unmute yourself and read the next passage.
Yes, teacher. He felt more than anything bored. He glanced at the letter, written in halting English, signed by an unknown Indian, asking him to give an opinion of these mathematical discoveries. The script appeared to consist of theorems, most of them wild or fantastic looking, one or two already well known, laid out as though they were original. There were no proofs of any kind. Hardy was not only bored but also irritated. It seemed like a curious kind of fraud. He put the manuscript aside and went on with his day's routine.
Thank you so much, Prisha. So here in the
Literature.
second passage, we learn that means he feel means see he felt bored while reading that papers. Okay, now it is mentioned like a manuscript. Manuscript means we already learned that something written with our hand, right? So it was just like manuscript for him. Okay, signed by unknown Indian. Okay, now he don't know who is that Indian who is writing all these things. And now after looking into the matter, he found that the script was appeared and consist with the theorems, math theorem, okay, mathematic theorems, and most of them were very nice. Means most of them were unknown for him, and he liked that type of theorem. But some of the theorems were already exists over there, and he thought that means already it is everyone is knowing about this theorem, but still that theorem is there in the manuscript or in the written matter. Okay, so now this time Hardy was not only bored but also irritated. Now why he was irritated? Because he saw some theorems are there in exit, but still they were there. It seems like a curious kind of fraud. Why it was a fraud? Because this theorem they are already exit and still they are there in the paper. Okay, so he thought that it's a it's a fraud. Okay, and he put the manuscript. Yeah, he put the manuscript aside and went for his daily routine. Okay, so he liked few of the theorems which are new and interesting, but the few other theorems which are already exit and which are already proved by some other people. So it is just like a fraud that you are putting the theorems in your paper. Okay, so he was not excited for the papers, and he put the papers aside and he start with his daily routine. Okay, Mr. J.E. Littlewood. Okay, he's another mathematician. So in this lesson, we will come to know about the names of many other mathematicians. So we have, I'll note down the same thing over there. Now, students, what happened here? Yes. Now, what happened here? The writer of all these manuscripts was a man who is very genius. They came to know now after going through all these theorems that whoever made these theorems is a really genius man. Okay, and we cannot judge him because may it happen that he already put the theorems in his manuscript, but someone else got fame because of the same. Okay, because this man is very poor and not able to show his manuscript, uh, means before, okay, on time. So when his manuscript present in front of us, already we came to know many theorems. Okay, so maybe we can say that he was late to show his manuscript, and because of that some of the theorems were well known to us. Okay, we can say that. Okay, here we cannot, they said that they cannot judge him like this. So now only one letter that Hardy decided that Ramanujan was in terms of natural mathematical genius in the class of Gauss and Euler. Now here the Gauss and Euler is the name of mathematicians again, but they could not accept because the defects of the education, and because of he had came scene too late. As I said, he came into scene too late. Okay, and the line of the mathematical history to make the contribution for the scale. Okay, so he found that theorem, he was having all that theorem, but he came, means he, when he showed, already that theorems were there in existence. Okay, someone else already found that theorem. Okay, this was happened with Ramanujan, and that's make thing Hardy that he is a fraud person. Okay, uh, next, Shubhi, unmute and read.
Hello, teacher.
Yes.
The following day, Hardy went into action. Ramanujan must be brought to England, Hardy decided. Money was not a major problem. Trinity had usually been good and supporting unorthodox talent. The college had been the same for Capitza a few years later. Once Hardy was determined, no human agency could have stopped Ramanujan, but they needed certain amount of help from a superhuman one.
Okay, so here we can see that the same day Hari went into action, and he want Ramanujan to come to England. Okay, he want Ramanujan to come to England, and here the problem is what? Money, because Ramanujan was very poor person. Okay, he have to serve, means he have to face lots of problem to survive with his family. Okay, actually he is having good knowledge of maths, but still he was not able to get the good job for him. Okay, something happened, like, that when he is putting that type of theorem and showing that theorem to any shop, wherever he want to get the job, after looking into theorem, the people don't understand the theorem because they don't understand the maths. Okay, the maths, they were knowing it just like addition and subtraction. Okay, so whenever this Ramanujan is showing this manuscript to them, they don't want Ramanujan to work with them. What they thought, what they were thinking, that this man is doing too much confusion, and we don't want this type of confusion in our daily work. Okay, so we will not allow this man to work over here, and they used to say no, for to appoint him as their employee. Okay, so Ramanujan is facing very means too many problems in India, because the people were not able to understand the theorems whichever he is having. So this is the step Ramanujan took, that he sent all his that manuscript, whichever he found, the theorems whichever he found, he sent all that to Hardy, thinking that this man can do something for him. Okay, so here he was right. Now Ramanujan must be brought to England, said Hardy. That means Hardy want him to come to England. But what was the problem here? Money. But according to Hardy, money was not the major problem. Okay, according to Hardy, money was not a major problem. Trinity had usually had been good supporting the unorthodox challenge. Okay, so as this Ramanujan is having that type of talent, so maybe they are able to bring him to England. Okay, now once Hardy was determined, no human agency could help. Wait a minute. Yeah, no human agency could have stopped Ramanujan, but they needed certain amount of help for the superhuman one. That means what? They need to have some money to bring that Ramanujan to England. So here again, money is the problem. So they are going to help Ramanujan to come to England. Okay. So, dear student, in this passage, we learn about Ramanujan's situation, how he is staying in India. Ramanujan turned out to be a poor clerk in the Madras, that is Chennai now, and living with his wife with means he how much he's earning here, 20 pounds a year. Okay, now his family is means wife, maybe parents were there. Now he was usually strict about the religious ob observances. Okay, with mother who was even stricter for the religious observances. It seemed impossible that he could break a ban and cross the water. Okay, so here what does it mean, dear student? See, they are very religious people. Okay, Brahmins. Okay, so they are having some strict means they are having some rules, regulations with themselves only. Okay, so to travel across the sea means uh, where their what we can say, where the same culture is not there, whichever they are following in India, there will not be same culture if they are going to cross the boundaries. Okay, so there is a ban for the same. And fortunately, what happened with the mother, that she saw a dream. In her dream, what she saw, that her son was sitting there with the group of the Europeans. Okay, and here the goddess Namakkal, to whom she pray more, means she Namakkal, goddess Namakkal, they pray, means whatever uh, goddess Namakkal, if the goddess Namakkal is there in her dream and she's going to order something, they have to follow them. Okay, so they follow the goddess Namakkal very much. So one day she dreamed that her son was sitting with a group of Europeans, and now here goddess Namakkal commanded her not to stand in the way of her son fulfilling his life's purpose. That means the goddess commanded that the parents should not come in between the way of their sons, and let the son fulfill his dreams. Okay, so as we can see that there were restrictions to cross the boundaries because they are following some culture, they are following some religions. But here, as the goddess said that you should not be in the way of your child's dream. So mom said that, means in short, the mom said that you can go. Now, as now our goddess Namakkal want me to not stand in your way, you can go, you can cross the boundaries and you can do your work. Okay, so this was a surprise, this was means everyone was surprised by this. Okay, so dear student, here as Hari was trying to bring Ramanujan to England, Ramanujan came to England in 1914. Okay, so as Hari want him to come to England, so he did his work. Ramanujan, despite of all difficulties of breaking the caste laws, as I said, he was having some restriction. He can't cross the boundaries because the culture which is there in India for them is not after crossing the boundaries. Okay, so he did not believe much in the theological doctrine. That means theological doctrine means set of belief about God and religion. Okay, so he was not believing that the same, because the way he was living his life, the experiences he was there to see in his life. Okay, so he was not able to believe in the same too much. Okay, now except for a vague pathetic benevolence and many more than the Hardy did himself. Okay, so he believed in the present. Now the Hardy was responsible for bringing him to England. So he believed in that instead of believing the belief about the God and religion. Okay, when Trinity, this is college, when the Trinity put him up in the college within the 4 years, he became a fellow. There was no Allah sent beyond self-indulgence for him at all. Hardy used to find him actually change into his means Hardy used to find him always in pyjamas and cooking the vegetables, because as I said, he was a Brahmin and he used to eat only vegetables instead of eating the outside food or any other food whichever available easily. Okay, self-indulgence means doing something one's own pleasure and satisfaction. So here he was satisfying by doing his own work. Okay, what our Ramanujan, he is having a tremendous knowledge about mathematics. Okay, but he was not means like that. Some of the students are very intelligent in one subject only, but the other subject they are doing nothing. So Ramanujan was that type of person. He was having a tremendous knowledge of mathematics. Okay, but for other subject he was doing nothing. So even he have to face the failure in his life because of the same, and even the parents were very angry at him because he is only doing experiment in the maths, not doing anything in the other subjects. See, to get a good job, the person should have a knowledge of each subject. But here Ramanujan was having knowledge only about maths. He is interested only in mathematics. Okay, so he have to face many problems in his life. Now here you can see there is difference between Hari as well, Hari and Ramanujan. What is the difference between Hari and Ramanujan? That Hari is a well educated and well trained person. But what is Ramanujan? Ramanujan was not well trained person. Whatever he got through his own, means own imagination or own knowledge about the maths, own interest about the maths. Okay, so he is almost untrained person. Okay, Ramanujan had not been able to enter the Chennai University, because he could not matriculation English. So here we can see that he was not able to get good marks in English, or he was not interested to understand the English properly. That's why he was not able to get the chance to be in the Chennai University because of this English problem. Now, according to Hardy's report, he was always amiable, a good natured, but no doubt he sometimes found Hardy's conversation outside the mathematics more than little baffling. Now here you all can see, as I told you, that the Ramanujan, sorry, wait a minute. Yes. Yeah. So as I told you that a trained person and untrained person, a well-educated person and a person who is not well educated, when these two type of persons are coming together, conversation between these two person is quite difficult. Okay, so the same thing happened over here. So for the conversation between Hardy and Ramanujan. Okay, then he seems to have listed with the patient smile on his face, friendly, homely face. Even inside the mathematics, they had to come in the terms of the difference in their scene, and he didn't know what a proof was. So not even in their daily routine life, they are having some differences, but even when they are working on math, they both have some differences. Okay, now here we can see what Hardy said, that Hardy said means what he said about Ramanujan, that Ramanujan, if he had been a better educated, he would have been a less Ramanujan. Okay, so what he want to say here is that if Ramanujan is able to get a good training, okay, good educated person, okay, means as we can see, he is from a small village. So Hardy is thinking that the way he got educated over there is not up to the point. If he is able to get the better education, the person that we are going to get is totally different person. Okay, he is already having the good knowledge of maths, but the education whichever provided to him, if it is given in all subject in an equal basis, then the Ramanujan, that what we are going to, the personality of Ramanujan must be something different. Okay, then Hardy later corrected himself, said that the statement was nonsense. If Ramanujan had been better educated, he would have been he would have been even more wonderful than he was. So yes, it's the same he want to say here, that he changed the statement that Ramanujan, if he got the better education, but he is going to be something different personality. In fact, Hardy was obliged to teach him some formal mathematics, as though Ramanujan had been scholarship candidate of Winchester, and Hardy said that this was the most singular experience of his life. What did modern mathematics look like to someone who had the deepest insight, but who had literally never heard of most of it? Now it is regarding the looks of Ramanujan. Ramanujan is a very simple person, wearing these simple white clothes, pajamas. Okay, so he was not, means after coming to England also, he have not changed himself. He was staying in the means the way he was staying was the same. Okay, so means we say now that the representation of the person, that type of thing was not there in case of Ramanujan. Okay, means how the other modern mathematicians are living, how they are presenting themselves in front of others. So that thing was not there in case of Ramanujan. Okay, he is very simple. Okay, he like to be very simple, but he is thinking always about maths. Okay, he's always thinking about maths, nothing else. Okay, because of that he have to face the problem in the life. Because of that his education, um means he have to face the problem in his education. He was not able to clear his exams because of that problem. See, only being clever in the mathematics is not enough. You have to be means you have to clear all the other subject also. Okay, but that was not happening in the case of Ramanujan. Even being a intelligent person, he have to face problem because he was not paying attention towards the other subject. Okay,